This audiobook carries you into the grand reset, where releasing tension becomes the doorway to everything you desire. As you listen, you'll uncover the ancient truth that when you reset your nervous system, your entire reality begins to realign. Enter this journey of calm surrender and watch the universe rise to meet you. The Grand Reset. Introduction. A sage once wandered through an ancient garden where sunlight wove gold through the leaves. There he beheld two butterflies, one beating its wings in frantic resistance to the wind, the other resting upon a blossom, rising only when the breeze itself lifted it into flight. Though the restless one never left its small circle of struggle, the serene one traveled effortlessly across the garden's expanse, carried by the very forces that hindered the other. So it is with you. The universe speaks not in words, but in vibration, and your nervous system is the sacred instrument through which your frequency is played. Like the butterflies, it is not your effort, but your state of being that charts your path. When your body tightens with vigilance and strain, you emit a signal of resistance, an invisible wall between you and what you seek. Manifestation is a quiet dance between your energy and the cosmic currents that guide all things. Your body, born from the same intelligence that spins galaxies, knows this dance by heart. Yet the patterns of modern life, its noise, its urgency, its endless grasping, draw you away from your natural rhythm, winding your inner springs too tightly. To enter the Grand Reset is to remember the ease you were created to live in. This return is not carved by force, but by surrender, by allowing your breath to deepen, your muscles to soften, your field of energy to expand once more. As tension dissolves, the channels through which abundance travels clear like a river after the storm. This harmony between body, mind, and spirit is the true foundation of all creation. When your body feels safe, your thoughts align, and your soul becomes receptive. The universe responds to the whole of you, your feelings, your breath, your posture toward life. In this sacred state of calm receptivity, manifestation becomes effortless. You cease to push against the winds of life and instead learn to rise with them, and like the tranquil butterfly, you discover that what once felt distant is drawn to you with grace, guided by the magnetic balance of your restored being. Before we get into the book, comment "I am ready" to affirm your intention to the universe. Part 1. The Ground of Calm. Chapter 1. The Whisper Beneath the Noise. In a bustling corporate office, Millie sat at her desk, shoulders hunched, jaw clenched, as she refreshed her email for the 100th time. Each passing day without news of her promotion intensified the knot in her stomach. The more she grasped at advancement, the more her muscles tightened, and curiously, the further opportunities seemed to slip away. Your body speaks a language more ancient than words. When tension becomes your constant companion, it sends ripples of resistance through the field of infinite possibilities. Like a radio antenna twisted out of alignment, chronic stress distorts the clear signal of your intentions. The universe responds not to your wishes alone, but to the living frequency of your being. Consider how your nervous system acts as a bridge between desire and manifestation. When wrapped in the armor of anxiety, your natural intuition becomes muffled, your energy scattered. The very act of pushing harder, only reinforces this pattern, creating a cycle of effort and frustration that blocks the natural flow of abundance. In the mountains of Tibet, a monk named Norman struggled with doubts about his spiritual path. Each morning, as uncertainty crept in, he would pause his meditation and simply breathe, inhaling the crisp mountain air, exhaling his resistance. He discovered that clarity arrived not through mental effort, but through physical surrender. As his body softened, wisdom flowed naturally, like spring water through unclogged channels. This tale mirrors your own journey. When you release bodily tension, you open a gateway for universal intelligence to guide you. Your nervous system, when relaxed, becomes a pure conductor of cosmic wisdom, allowing synchronicities to unfold effortlessly. Now, rest your palm against your chest, feeling the steady rhythm of your heart. Breathe in slowly for 4 counts, allowing your lungs to fill completely. As you exhale for 6 counts, let your ribcage melt downward, releasing any held tension. This simple practice invites your body to remember its natural state of trust. Feel how each gentle sigh dissolves the barriers between you and life's abundance. In this state of peaceful surrender, the universe can finally deliver what your heart truly desires. This ancient wisdom practice aligns your physical form with the flow of universal energy. As your body learns to trust again, watch how life begins to move toward you with grace and ease. Chapter 2. The Pulse of Surrender. In the golden light of dawn, Clara sat at her desk, her meticulous project timeline spread before her. Every detail, every milestone carefully mapped to perfection. Her hands trembled slightly as she gripped her pen, attempting to control each variable, each possible outcome. Yet with each rigid plan she crafted, the universe seemed to respond with unexpected turns, teaching her the futility of clutching too tightly to predetermined paths. When you release your grip on certainty, a remarkable transformation occurs within. Your body, so long held captive by the illusion of control, begins to remember its natural state of flow. This ancient wisdom lies encoded in your very cells, the understanding that true power emerges not from forcing, but from allowing. The parasympathetic nervous system holds the key to this sacred alchemy. When you surrender your need to orchestrate every detail, this healing channel activates, washing away the static of anxiety and resistance. In this state of deep receptivity, you become a clear vessel for the universe's infinite intelligence. One rain-soaked evening, Eli walked through the city streets, his usual schedule disrupted by an unexpected downpour. His first response was familiar panic. Meetings would be delayed, clothes would be ruined, plans would unravel. But as the cool drops fell upon his face, something shifted within him. Instead of fighting against the rain, he allowed himself to experience it fully. His shoulders softened, his breath deepened, and in that moment of accepting what was, an inexplicable peace washed over him. This simple story mirrors your own journey. When you cease struggling against life's natural flow, when you release the need to control every outcome, you align with a power far greater than your limited plans. Your surrender becomes your strength. Your acceptance becomes your power. To integrate this wisdom, find a quiet moment and settle into a comfortable position. Place your hand gently upon your abdomen, feeling the rise and fall of your breath. As you breathe deeply into your belly, whisper these transformative words. I'm safe not knowing. Feel how these words resonate through your body, transforming anxious neurons into serene messengers of possibility. In this space of gentle surrender, you open yourself to the universe's boundless flow of manifestation. Chapter 3. The Body's Sacred Dial. In the eastern quarter of an ancient city, Hazel wove through crowded marketplaces, her mind racing between inspired action and complete exhaustion. Each morning began with fierce determination. Lists made, goals set, affirmations declared. By afternoon, her energy would crash, leaving her wondering why manifestation felt so exhausting. Your nervous system operates like a sacred instrument, attuned to frequencies both subtle and profound. Just as a radio cannot receive clear signals through static, your body cannot attract aligned experiences when overwhelmed by stress. This wisdom, passed down through generations of mystics and sages, reveals that manifestation flows not from endless doing, but from mastering the art of beneficial frequency. Within you lies an inner dial, one that shifts between the static of stress and the melody of peace. This isn't mere metaphor, but a biological truth known to ancient healers. When you learn to adjust this dial with conscious awareness, you begin to transmit a different signal to the universe. The essence of frequency hygiene lies in recognizing these subtle shifts. Notice how your body feels in moments of safety, the gentle expansion of your chest, the softening of your shoulders, the natural rhythm of your breath. These sensations aren't random. They are the physical language of attraction, speaking directly to the universal mind. In a quiet valley beneath snow-capped mountains, Otto discovered this truth. For years he had diligently repeated affirmations, visualized his desires, and pushed himself toward goals. Yet transformation remained elusive until one morning, when he simply sat in silence for 5 minutes before beginning his day. In that stillness, he felt a shift, as if his entire being had been retuned to a clearer frequency. His manifestations began flowing with surprising ease, not because he had found a new technique, but because he had discovered the power of inner quiet. The universal law responds not to the volume of your requests, but to the clarity of your signal. When you cultivate inner calm, you naturally align with the frequency of attraction. Like a perfectly tuned instrument, your relaxed nervous system becomes a conduit for manifestation. Practice. Sit comfortably and allow your spine to lengthen naturally with each exhale. Imagine an inner dial within your chest, gradually turning from static to stillness. Let your awareness rest in this space, humming like soft jazz beneath the surface of thought. Remain here for several breaths, allowing your entire being to attune to this frequency of peace. Chapter 4. The Gentle Yes. In a sunlit room overlooking a tranquil garden, Ruby stands before her mirror, forcefully declaring, "I am abundant. I am powerful. I am unstoppable." Yet with each thunderous affirmation, her shoulders tighten, her jaw clenches, and an undercurrent of doubt ripples through her being. The universe responds not to your words, but to the vibration emanating from your cells. When you speak against your own truth, your body becomes a living contradiction, one part striving upward while another contracts in resistance. This eternal law cannot be deceived, for the language of creation is pure resonance. Within the depths of your physical form lies an ancient wisdom that knows truth from pretense. Each forced declaration creates microscopic tension, a subtle bracing that sends ripples of dissonance through your electromagnetic field. Yet when you align word with sensation, speaking what your body can embrace as real, you activate the sacred alchemy of transformation. In a quiet valley town, Gus discovered this timeless truth. After years of shouting grand affirmations that left him feeling hollow, he began whispering gentle phrases that rang true in his bones. I can take one peaceful breath. I am learning to trust. This moment holds enough. As he honored his authentic vibration, the universe responded in kind. Small shifts led to larger openings, each aligned statement creating a bridge to greater possibilities. Your atomic structure is an orchestra of energy, each cell a musician attuned to your inner song. When you speak from integrity, even in smallest measures, these particles dance in harmony. This is not mere metaphor. It is the physics of manifestation itself. Every honest word creates coherence in your nervous system, allowing universal forces to flow unimpeded through your being. The power lies not in the size of your declarations, but in their resonance with your current state. As you honor where you truly are, you open the channel for where you wish to go. This is the paradox at the heart of all transformation. Authentic acceptance becomes the doorway to change. Practice. Sacred resonance. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Begin speaking simple phrases that feel completely true for you in this moment. I can feel my breath. My feet are touching the ground. I choose to be gentle with myself. Notice how your body responds to each statement. When you encounter resistance, soften your words until you find the vibration that allows your system to relax and expand. Let truth be your guide as you gradually build a new relationship with the language of manifestation. Chapter 5. The Quiet Between Thoughts. In the heart of a bustling household, Minnie darted between tasks like a hummingbird between flowers. Her days overflowed with school runs, meal preparation, and endless to-do lists. I don't have time to sit still, she would say, pushing through mounting headaches with determination. Meditation is a luxury I can't afford. Nature, in its infinite wisdom, speaks through the body's signals. Your physical form knows when it requires reset, rebalance, restoration. The headaches intensified until Minnie could no longer ignore their message. One afternoon, overwhelmed by throbbing pain, she surrendered to the quiet of her bedroom for just 5 minutes. In that moment of forced stillness, something extraordinary unfolded. As her breathing steadied, the space between her thoughts widened. In this gap, this sacred pause, clarity emerged like morning sun through parting clouds. Solutions to daily challenges bubbled up effortlessly. The universe had been whispering all along, but she'd been too busy to listen. Your greatest guidance arrives not in the clamor of activity, but in the sanctuary of silence. When the nervous system settles, when the mind's chatter softens, you access the vast intelligence that perpetually surrounds you. These moments of quiet are not empty. They are fertile with possibility, pregnant with wisdom. Consider Teddy, a merchant who struggled with crucial business decisions. Each evening, he began taking 2-minute pauses, simply breathing and observing his thoughts. At first, it felt pointless, even uncomfortable. Yet gradually, he noticed subtle changes. His choices became more aligned, his timing more precise. Without forcing answers, they arose naturally from his periods of stillness. The modern world celebrates constant motion, endless productivity. but the universe operates through cycles of action and rest. Your nervous system requires these moments of recalibration, these precious pauses where inner knowing can surface, like a pond settling after a storm. Clarity emerges only when ripples subside. Ancient practice for inner alignment. Find a comfortable position and gently close your eyes. Allow your attention to drift inward, past the surface noise of thoughts. Listen for the subtle hum that exists in the silence. It may feel like a gentle vibration or peaceful emptiness. Rest in this space for several breaths, recognizing that this quiet is not absence, but presence. This is the sound of alignment forming, of the universe speaking its timeless wisdom through the language of silence. Chapter 6. The Language of the Body. In the heart of the body lies wisdom deeper than thought. Between each breath, each heartbeat, each moment of awareness, truth whispers through sensation. Your physical form holds ancient knowledge, waiting to guide you toward alignment with universal law. For years, Sadie filled notebooks with emotional analysis, dissecting every feeling into neat categories and explanations. Her mind created elaborate maps of psychological terrain, yet manifestation remained elusive. Despite understanding the mechanics of emotion, she felt disconnected from life's natural flow. The body speaks in sensations, not words. When you pause to listen, you discover an intelligence beyond mental comprehension. This sacred knowing, what the ancients called interoception, bridges the gap between spiritual intention and physical reality. Your cells carry the frequency of truth, humming with messages from the universe itself. One morning, as sunlight streamed through Sadie's window, she set aside her journals and simply placed a hand on her chest. Instead of analyzing her emotions, she allowed herself to feel. Beneath her palm, subtle warmth bloomed. Not a thought about warmth, but the direct experience itself. In that moment, she understood. Sensation precedes transformation. This truth revealed itself to Clyde through a different doorway. After years of reciting gratitude lists without results, he discovered the power of tracking bodily responses to appreciation. When genuine thankfulness arose, his chest expanded with tangible warmth. This physical shift became his compass for authentic practice. His manifestations flourished not through mental exercise, but through embodied frequency alignment. You need not search far for this wisdom. Your body constantly attunes itself to universal frequencies through sensation. Each feeling is a signal, a tuning fork vibrating with creative potential. When you learn to feel, rather than think about feeling, you access the direct current of manifestation. The ancient ones knew the body is the temple where spirit and matter merge. Through sensation awareness, you restore this sacred connection. Your physical form becomes an instrument of attraction, singing in harmony with universal law. Practice. Find a quiet moment and settle into stillness. Allow your attention to scan your body with gentle curiosity. Locate one area, perhaps your hands, your feet, or your belly, that feels even slightly peaceful or at ease. Rest your awareness there, letting this sensation of comfort expand naturally. As this feeling grows, it becomes your new baseline, a frequency of peace from which all manifestation flows. Chapter 7. The Safe Field. High in her downtown office, Lulu's fingers dance across spreadsheets, each number tightening invisible chains around her chest. Her shoulders hunch forward as she calculates expenses, her breath shallow and quick. Though her bank account holds sufficient funds, her body remains locked in survival mode, muscles coiled as if preparing to flee from ancient predators. This tension speaks an ancient language, one your nervous system understands all too well. When your body perceives threat, whether from a charging lion or an overdue bill, it activates protective patterns that once ensured survival. Yet these same patterns now block the natural flow of abundance. Your nervous system holds the master key to manifestation. When caught in the grip of financial worry, your body sends signals of scarcity to the universe. These signals echo outward, creating resistance in the very fabric of possibility. The law of attraction responds not to your thoughts alone, but to the deep somatic imprint of your emotional state. In the depths of a nearby park, Vernon discovered this truth through an unexpected teacher, an old oak tree. Each morning he would press his palm against its weathered bark, feeling the steady presence flowing upward through his feet. At first, the practice seemed simple, perhaps even foolish. Yet as days passed, something shifted. The tree's unwavering stability began to seep into his bones, teaching him the forgotten art of grounding. Through this connection to Earth's ancient wisdom, Vernon's creativity flourished. Ideas flowed freely, opportunities emerged unexpectedly, and solutions appeared with natural ease. His body had learned to trust in life's support, allowing his energy to flow toward creation rather than protection. This wisdom lives within you now. When your body feels safe, your brain releases its vigilant guard. Creativity rises naturally, like sap through a strong tree. Abundance flows not from constant striving, but from the deep knowing that you are supported by forces greater than yourself. Sacred practice. Stand barefoot on the earth if possible, or simply plant your feet firmly where you are. Close your eyes and imagine roots extending from your feet deep into the soil below. Feel the earth's unwavering support rising through these roots into your body. With each breath, whisper your gratitude to the ground beneath you, acknowledging its constant, unconditional presence. Let this connection remind your nervous system that you are held, supported, and safe in the embrace of life itself. Chapter 8. The Breath That Rewrites Time. In a small cottage by the sea, Hattie sits surrounded by old photographs, her body trembling as memories wash over her like waves. Her shoulders curve inward, protecting a heart heavy with regret for paths not taken. The future looms before her like a gathering storm, each anxious thought about tomorrow sending tremors through her nervous system. Time becomes her tormentor, stretching her between what was and what might be, until she can barely breathe in the present moment. The wisdom of the ages whispers this truth. Your body knows only one time, now. When you drift into memories of the past or projections of the future, your nervous system responds as if those thoughts were present dangers. This creates a continuous loop of stress signals, keeping you forever braced against moments that exist only in your mind. The universe operates in the eternal now. It is here, in this sacred present moment, that all manifestation takes root. Your breath serves as an anchor, drawing you back from the shadows of yesterday and the mists of tomorrow. Each inhale arrives as a fresh beginning. Each exhale releases you into the infinite now. In a monastery garden, Raymond discovered this ancient truth through an unexpected practice. Tormented by decades of regret, he began counting his breath cycles instead of his years. One breath, then another. With each count, the weight of time grew lighter. He noticed how the space between breaths held no past to mourn, no future to fear, only the pure presence of being. As days passed, Raymond's practice deepened. The simple act of counting breaths dissolved the illusion of linear time. His body relaxed, no longer carrying the burden of what had been or what might be in this state of presence. He found that the universe's abundance flowed more freely, uninhibited by temporal resistance. This truth extends to you. Your body's wisdom surpasses time itself. When you align with the present moment, you tap into the timeless field of all possibility. Your nervous system responds to this alignment by releasing its defensive patterns, allowing manifestation to occur naturally and effortlessly. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Place both hands over your heart center, feeling its steady rhythm. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing each exhale to carry the whispered word, now. Let this word dissolve into the space around you. With each breath, feel how your body exists only in this moment, eternal, complete, and free from time's illusion. Remain here for several minutes, allowing your nervous system to remember its natural state of timeless presence. Chapter 9. The Rehearsal Room of Reality. In a bustling city market, a young merchant named Edith meticulously created vision boards and recited abundance affirmations. Each morning she visualized stacks of gold coins and thriving business ventures. Yet her shoulders remained tight, her breath shallow, and her stomach knotted. Though her mind painted pictures of prosperity, her body told a different tale, one of scarcity and strain. The ancient masters understood a truth often forgotten in modern times. The body is the sacred instrument of manifestation. When you merely think of what you desire, you engage only the surface of your creative power. True visualization occurs not in the mind alone, but in the very cells of your being. Your nervous system must feel the reality you wish to create before the universe can mirror it back to you. Consider how your body responds to thoughts of lack, the subtle tightening, the held breath, the braced muscles. These physical patterns become unconscious prayers to the universe, more powerful than any mental image. Your cells continuously broadcast their state of being, and the universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds to this deeper frequency rather than your conscious wishes. In the quiet hills of a distant valley lived a humble farmer named Floyd. Each morning, before tending his fields, he would sit in stillness and imagine the success of his harvest. But unlike others who merely pictured abundance, Floyd learned to feel it in his flesh. He would imagine the warm sun on his skin as he walked through fields of plenty. He felt the weight of rich soil beneath his feet, the gentle sway of his body among thriving crops, the deep breath of satisfaction in his chest. His body relaxed into these sensations as if they were already real. Within one season, Floyd's harvest doubled, then tripled. The locals spoke of his good fortune, but Floyd knew the truth. He had simply learned to attune his physical form to the frequency of abundance before its physical manifestation. The universe reads your bodily state as your truest prayer. When your nervous system relaxes into the feeling of your desired reality, you become a living broadcast of that possibility. Your cells become the sacred soil in which future blessings take root. Sacred practice. As you prepare for sleep tonight, let your body become a vessel of vision. Picture one beautiful scenario you wish to manifest, but don't stop at mental imagery. Feel the warmth of accomplishment in your chest, the lightness in your shoulders that comes with success, the deep breath of contentment that accompanies fulfillment. Release a gentle sigh, allowing your entire being to soften into these sensations. Let every cell remember this state of ease, for this is how you teach your nervous system to rehearse the future you desire to create. Chapter 10. The Grand Pause. In the ancient marketplace, a merchant named Flora rushed between her stalls, perpetually counting inventory and negotiating trades. From dawn until dusk, she moved with frantic energy, believing that constant motion would attract greater prosperity. Her hands trembled as she counted coins, her mind raced with endless calculations, and her heart pounded with the rhythm of endless doing. The universal law speaks clearly on this matter. Manifestation flows not from endless activity, but from the sacred dance between action and stillness. Just as the ocean moves in waves, drawing back before surging forward, so too must your creative energy pulse between effort and rest. This natural oscillation allows the seeds of your desires to take root in the fertile soil of possibility. When you maintain constant motion, you create resistance in the very fabric of creation. Your nervous system, designed to flow between states of activity and recovery, becomes locked in a pattern of strain. This tension sends a signal to the universe that you do not trust its timing, that you believe abundance comes only through perpetual struggle. Picture a master potter shaping clay on their wheel. The most crucial moment is not the spinning, but the pause when they lift their hands and allow the clay to find its form. It is in these moments of release that true artistry emerges. In the valley beyond the marketplace lived Jasper, a skilled artisan known for his exquisite tapestries. As orders flooded in and deadlines loomed, he felt the familiar urge to work through the night. Yet something within whispered of a different way. Instead of pushing through exhaustion, he stepped away from his loom, walked to his garden, and simply sat in silence. In that moment of surrender, his breathing deepened, his shoulders softened, and his mind cleared. When he returned to his work the next morning, his fingers moved with newfound grace. Soon after, a wealthy merchant arrived, having dreamed of Jasper's tapestries, offering twice the usual price for his creations. This tale mirrors an essential truth. When you honor the natural rhythm of rest and action, you align with the universe's own creative pulse. Your nervous system becomes a refined instrument, capable of receiving the subtle signals of divine timing. The wisdom of stillness reaches far beyond mere relaxation. Each pause between your efforts serves as a reset point, a moment when your energy field can recalibrate to its natural frequency of abundance. These intervals of conscious rest are not empty spaces, but powerful portals through which inspiration and opportunity flow. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space and lie down comfortably. For the next 5 minutes, release all doing, all striving, all need to accomplish. Let your body melt into the earth, knowing that in this sacred stillness, you are actively generating the vibration of receptivity. This apparent nothingness is in truth the most productive state of being, the space where manifestation takes root in the fertile soil of your relaxed nervous system. Part 2. The Flow of Alignment. Chapter 11. The Warm Current Within. Once, in a faraway village, there lived a young woman named Nora, who carried the weight of the world in her shoulders. Each morning she would wake feeling as though stones filled her chest, their heaviness pressing against her heart. Though she diligently practiced manifestation techniques, recited affirmations, and visualized her desires, nothing seemed to shift in her reality. Her body remained locked in a state of subtle tension, a prison of seriousness that kept abundance at bay. The universe speaks through your body's natural expressions of joy. When genuine laughter bubbles up from your depths, it releases a cascade of healing chemicals that realign your entire system. This sacred alchemy transforms not only your internal state, but the very frequency you broadcast to the cosmic forces around you. Your nervous system recognizes joy as a signal of safety, abundance, and possibility. In these moments of authentic delight, your body relaxes its vigilance, allowing the natural flow of life force to move through you unimpeded. This state of open-hearted receptivity becomes a magnetic force, drawing to you experiences that match your elevated vibration. In the quiet mountain village where Peter lived, misfortune had struck his family's farm. The crops had failed, and winter approached swiftly. One evening, as he sat with his children around their dwindling fire, his youngest daughter made an innocent observation that sparked unexpected laughter. The simple joy of that moment spread through the family like warmth from a flame. In the midst of their shared laughter, a knock came at the door. A traveling merchant had lost his way and needed shelter for the night. This chance encounter led to a partnership that not only saved Peter's farm, but brought prosperity to the entire village. The wisdom revealed in Peter's tale mirrors an eternal truth. When you allow yourself to experience joy, especially in the face of challenges, you create an energetic opening through which the universe can work its magic. Your laughter becomes a reset button for your entire nervous system, dissolving patterns of tension and worry that block the natural flow of abundance. Ancient practice. Find a quiet moment and bring to mind a memory that naturally brings a smile to your face. It might be a simple moment of shared laughter with a friend, a comic misunderstanding that turned into a blessing, or the pure delight of an unexpected joy. Allow this memory to fill your awareness until you feel the corners of your mouth turn upward. Notice how this genuine smile creates a warm expansion in your chest. Let this sensation of warmth spread throughout your body, knowing that in this moment of authentic joy, you are aligning with the highest frequency of creation. Chapter 12. The Conductive Heart. A merchant's daughter stood in her garden each morning, dutifully reciting the ancient prayers of manifestation. Her lips moved with practiced precision, yet something essential remained dormant within. Though her mind embraced these sacred teachings, her heart beat a different rhythm, one of hesitation and doubt. The heart holds wisdom far beyond the mind's rational understanding. Within its steady chambers flows the original current of creation itself. When you align your thoughts with your heart's natural resonance, you tap into the universe's own frequency. This is not mere metaphor. Science has revealed that the heart generates an electromagnetic field 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. This field extends far beyond your physical form, touching all that surrounds you. Your heart knows no separation between what is desired and what is possible. It pulses with the same force that moves planets and stars, that draws tides and turns seasons. When you allow yourself to feel genuine appreciation, your heart's rhythm shifts into a coherent pattern that harmonizes with the universe's own song. The mind may grasp at what it wants, but the heart must feel what it knows to be true. This is why those who manifest with ease have learned to think less and feel more. Their hearts beat in time with possibility rather than doubt. In a distant monastery, a monk named Walter struggled with his meditation practice until he discovered a simple truth. Before each session, he began to count his blessings, not with his mind, but with his heart. He would place his hand upon his chest and let gratitude flow through him like warm honey. Soon, his entire being hummed with an inner music that transformed his practice and his life. This ancient wisdom speaks to you now. Your heart is not merely an organ, but an instrument of creation. Its rhythm can either block or amplify your creative force when you trust its beat. When you allow its warmth to spread through your body, you naturally align with the flow of life's abundance. The practice. Find a quiet space and place your palm over your heart center. Feel its steady pulse beneath your fingers. With each inhale, imagine drawing breath directly through your heart. As you exhale, release a whisper of appreciation for anything that brings you joy. Let each heartbeat become a note in the universe's symphony of creation. Continue this gentle practice until you sense your entire being softening into harmony with life's natural rhythm. Your heart knows the way. Trust its ancient wisdom to conduct the flow of all good things toward you. Chapter 13. The Soft Horizon. In a bustling city, a woman named Irene filled every moment with self-improvement tasks. Her shelves groaned under the weight of wisdom books, her phone overflowed with meditation apps, and her calendar burst with workshops and seminars. More effort equals faster growth, she told herself, pushing harder each day. Yet the universe whispered a different truth, one she could not hear above her striving. Your transformation follows natural law, as eternal as the rising sun. No amount of force can hurry daybreak. It arrives in its own sacred timing, painting the sky in gradual strokes of light. Your nervous system operates by this same divine principle. It cannot be rushed into evolution any more than a flower can be pulled from the soil to speed its blooming. When you demand instant change, your body interprets this as danger. Your cells contract, your breath shortens, and the very energy you seek to cultivate dissipates in the strain. This tension creates resistance to the natural flow of manifestation. The universe reads your signal not as readiness, but as rejection of its perfect timing. Roy, a merchant who had long pushed for success, discovered this truth through an unexpected teacher, his garden. Each morning, he noticed how his plants responded not to his will, but to the sun's patient advance across the sky. He began mirroring this wisdom in his own growth, replacing intense effort with steady nurturing. Rather than forcing marathon meditation sessions, he sat quietly for 5 minutes each sunrise. Instead of demanding immediate mastery, he welcomed small steps of progress. As Roy aligned with nature's rhythm, his manifestations flourished like well-tended seeds. His business grew not through desperate push, but through organic expansion. His relationships deepened not through forced connection, but through authentic presence. The secret lay not in doing more, but in allowing more. Your nervous system craves this same gentle approach. When you honor its need for gradual integration, you create stable foundations for lasting change. Each small shift you welcome becomes a note in the symphony of your transformation. This is the path of sustainable manifestation, not a sprint toward enlightenment, but a graceful dance with divine timing. The universe responds most powerfully to consistency rather than intensity. Your steady, patient attention creates a stable frequency that attracts lasting change. Like the reliable return of dawn, your gentle commitment signals to the universe that you trust its perfect unfolding. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space and settle into stillness. Place your hand upon your heart and visualize a sunrise beginning within your chest. Watch as golden light slowly illuminates your inner landscape, never forcing, only allowing. Whisper to yourself, "I embrace the gentle pace of my awakening. I trust the timing of my transformation." Let this practice remind you that true power lies not in pushing, but in patient unfolding. Before we get into the next chapter, you can download a free ebook version of this audiobook using the link in the pinned comment below this video. Chapter 14. The Symphony of Trust. A merchant's daughter named Lois walked the marketplace, her basket filled with fresh spices and herbs. Each step she took was measured, careful, as if the ground might disappear beneath her feet. When a gust of wind scattered her precious saffron across the dusty path, she fell to her knees, gathering each thread while berating herself for her carelessness. "I've ruined everything," she whispered, her hands trembling. "How can I ever succeed if I keep making such mistakes?" The universe speaks through the wisdom of your cells. Each time you condemn yourself for a misstep, your nervous system contracts, creating discord in the natural flow of life. Like a musician who tenses at every wrong note, you lose the melody of creation itself. Your body holds this tension, remembering each harsh judgment until it becomes a barrier between you and your desires. Self-forgiveness is not merely an emotional balm, it is a biological reset, a return to harmony with universal law. When you release self-judgment, your muscles soften, your breath deepens, and your very DNA remembers its divine origin. This is not about pardoning wrongdoing, but about returning to the natural state of grace that allows manifestation to flow freely. In a distant valley, a potter named Warren worked with clay, shaping vessels day after day. One morning, his hand slipped, and a nearly finished urn collapsed into formless earth. Instead of cursing his error, he paused, breathed deeply, and whispered, "I trust in the rhythm of creation." To his amazement, the next vessel he shaped surpassed all others in beauty, as if the clay itself responded to his acceptance. The wisdom in Warren's story mirrors your own journey. Each time you meet a mistake with gentleness, you align with the greater symphony of life. Your nervous system recognizes this truth. It knows that trust, not perfectionism, orchestrates the dance of manifestation. Place one hand over your heart and say, "I belong in harmony," until calm hums through you. Chapter 15. The Mirror Breath. In the heart of an ancient bazaar, a woman named Evelyn tended her stall of hand-woven textiles day after day, feeling as though she were made of glass. Transparent and unseen merchants and customers rushed past, their eyes sliding over her beautiful fabrics without pause. No matter how she arranged her wares or called out her greetings, she remained unnoticed, her presence dissolving into the marketplace's chaos. Within you lies the power to transform invisibility into magnetic presence. The subtle rhythm of your breath shapes the field of energy around you more powerfully than any words could express. When you breathe with intention, you become a beacon of peace in a fragmented world. Your nervous system broadcasts its state to every living being within range. Like a tuning fork that sets other instruments vibrating at its frequency, your calm ripples outward, inviting others into resonance. This is not mystical thinking. It is the science of mirror neurons, the cellular web of empathy that connects all beings. Consider the story of Lyle, a humble tea merchant who discovered this truth through necessity. When angry customers stormed his shop one morning, demanding refunds for spoiled tea leaves, Lyle did something unexpected. Instead of matching their agitation, he simply stood still and took 3 slow, deliberate breaths. The shift was subtle but unmistakable. Within moments, the customers' rigid shoulders began to soften, their voices lowered, and solutions emerged naturally from renewed dialogue. Your breath is your most intimate connection to the universal flow. Each time you exhale with conscious awareness, you release not just carbon dioxide, but also the static of anxiety that blocks genuine connection. As you inhale, imagine drawing in the pure light of presence. As you exhale, feel yourself expanding beyond the boundaries of your perceived limitations. The universe responds not to your words or wishes, but to the vibration you embody. When your nervous system rests in its natural state of ease, you become a living invitation for others to do the same. This is the essence of authentic manifestation, not forcing change, but embodying the frequency of what you wish to create. Sacred practice. Find a quiet moment with someone you trust. Sit facing each other, close enough to sense their presence, but not so close as to create discomfort. Without words, begin to notice their breathing pattern. Gradually let your own breath fall into harmony with theirs. As your breaths synchronize, feel the subtle field of peace growing between you. This is not just meditation. It is the ancient art of energy empathy, the foundation of all genuine connection. Chapter 16. The Ease Equation. In a sunlit workshop at the edge of town, Martha surrounded herself with charts, spreadsheets, and countless sticky notes. Her dream of opening an herbal tea company had transformed into a labyrinth of complexity. Each morning she added new tasks to her already overwhelming list, creating intricate systems that tangled like vines around her original vision. The more she planned, the further success seemed to drift away. The universe operates through elegant simplicity. When you release the grip of overcomplication, you align with the natural flow of creation. Your nervous system knows this truth. It seeks the path of least resistance, where energy moves freely and manifestation occurs with grace. The secret lies in the ease equation. Relaxation combined with focus equals flow. This ancient wisdom has guided masters throughout time. When your body relaxes while your mind maintains gentle focus, you enter a state of effortless power. Like a river that curves naturally around obstacles rather than fighting through them, this state allows universal energy to move through you unimpeded. The mind may resist this simplicity, believing that struggle equals progress, yet nature teaches otherwise. Observe how flowers bloom without strain, how birds soar by surrendering to air currents. Your creative force flourishes in the same way, through balanced attention rather than forced effort. Glenn, a craftsman who carved wooden bowls, discovered this truth during a period of creative drought. His workshop had become cluttered with half-finished projects and complicated techniques. One morning he cleared his space until only one piece of wood and one tool remained. In that simplicity he found his flow again. Each bowl he created carried more beauty than his previous labored attempts. The same potential awaits within you. When you simplify your approach and trust in ease, your nervous system shifts from complexity to clarity. This shift magnetizes opportunities, streamlines solutions, and multiplies success through the power of aligned action. Sacred practice. Whenever you notice tension rising or tasks becoming tangled, pause and whisper these words: ease equals power. Let this gentle reminder realign your nervous system with the truth that calm capability flows naturally through simplified focus. Your body will begin to equate relaxation with enhanced creativity, transforming strain into grace. Chapter 17. The Listening Spine. A merchant once carried precious gems in a sack slung low across his hunched shoulders. Each step drew his gaze downward, searching the ground for dropped jewels. Years passed this way until a wise woman observed, "Your gems are safe, but you've missed countless treasures in the sky." Your body speaks a language more ancient than words. When tension grips your neck and shoulders, pulling you into a protective curl, you broadcast a signal of withdrawal to the universe. This physical contraction becomes an energetic barrier, limiting what flows into your life. The wisdom keepers understood that your spine is a sacred antenna designed to receive and transmit universal energy. When you walk with your head bowed and shoulders rounded, you unconsciously tell the universe, "I am not ready to receive." But when you align your posture with grace, you open channels for abundance to flow. Your body's position in space shapes more than muscle and bone. It molds your very reality. When your spine lengthens and your chest opens, you literally expand your capacity to receive life's gifts. Each vertebra becomes a stepping stone for energy to ascend. Each breath an opportunity to welcome more light. In a quiet valley, Calvin spent his days bent over scrolls, shoulders curved like question marks. Opportunities passed overhead like birds he never saw, until pain forced him to seek healing. A temple master taught him to imagine a golden thread drawing his spine skyward. "Stand as if you're already blessed," she said. As Calvin practiced this physical reset, his world began to shift. Ideas flowed more freely, synchronicities multiplied, and doors he never knew existed swung open before him. This same wisdom awaits your embrace. Your body yearns to align with its natural state of receptivity. Through conscious posture, you can transform from a closed circuit into an open channel. Ancient practice. Sit or stand in quietness. Imagine a luminous thread extending from the earth through your spine into the infinite sky. Let this thread gently draw you upward, vertebra by vertebra. Feel your shoulders settling back and down, your chest expanding like a flower opening to the sun. Breathe into this new spaciousness. With each breath, sense yourself becoming a living antenna, attuned to the frequency of grace. Hold this alignment for several breaths, knowing that your physical reset is simultaneously an energetic invitation to receive. Chapter 18. The Safe Spark of Desire. In a distant mountain village lived a woman named Lottie, who kept her dreams locked away in a wooden chest. Each morning she would wake early to tend her garden, careful to keep her hopes buried as deeply as her seeds. "If I don't expect the flowers to bloom," she would whisper, "their withering won't pain me." Yet the garden remained barren, reflecting the protected emptiness of her heart. Your desires are not mere wishes. They are sacred signals from the infinite. When you tense against wanting, your nervous system interprets desire as danger. This tension creates a barrier between you and the very abundance trying to reach you. The universe speaks in the language of expansion, but a contracted body can only whisper, "Not yet." True manifestation flows through a system at rest. When your nerves feel safe to want, to yearn, to reach, they become living bridges between intention and reality. Safety allows desire to breathe, to pulse with its own natural rhythm, rather than the forced beat of desperate grasping. Jean, a painter, had always muted his artistic ambitions, fearing the sting of rejection. Each time inspiration sparked, he would quickly douse it with practicality. But one day, while watching a child delight in splashing colors across paper, he witnessed pure, unguarded creativity. The child's joy held no fear of judgment, no bracing against disappointment. That evening, Jean sat before his canvas and, for the first time, allowed his excitement to exist without protection. His brush moved with newfound vitality, guided by desire that felt as natural as breathing. The wisdom in Jean's transformation reveals a profound truth. When desire flows through a relaxed nervous system, it becomes sustainable magnetism, like a river that cannot push upstream but flows effortlessly with gravity. Your attractions gain power when you release resistance to wanting itself. The practice. Find a quiet moment and settle into a comfortable position. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Take 3 slow breaths, allowing each exhale to soften any tension around your desires. Then gently whisper, "It's safe to want." Notice how these words land in your body. Let your pulse synchronize with the gentle excitement of possibility, knowing that safe desire is the most powerful attractor in the universe. Chapter 19. The Wave of Receiving. In the heart of an ancient marketplace, a skilled weaver named Elsie created tapestries of extraordinary beauty. Each thread she wove sparkled with her dreams of success and abundance. Yet whenever admirers offered to help her carry her works to larger markets or connect her with wealthy patrons, she would withdraw, muscles tensing as she insisted, "I must do everything alone." The universe speaks through the body's wisdom. When your muscles contract against assistance, they send a signal of resistance into the field of infinite possibility. This tension creates an energetic barrier, blocking the very blessings trying to flow toward you. Your physical form serves as the receiver for universal abundance, but like a radio antenna, it must remain open and receptive to catch the signals of grace. The body holds ancient memories of times when trust led to pain. Yet these protective patterns, once necessary for survival, now serve only to isolate you from life's natural flow. When you brace against receiving, you interrupt the sacred circuit of giving and taking that sustains all of creation. Your resistance becomes a dam, holding back the river of abundance meant to nourish your dreams. In a quiet valley, a carpenter named Harvey struggled alone in his workshop until his hands ached. One day, when a friend offered to help organize his tools, Harvey felt the familiar urge to refuse. But something in him softened, and he whispered, "Yes." As they worked together, Harvey's shoulders relaxed, his breathing deepened, and solutions he hadn't seen before emerged naturally. That simple act of receiving support opened a channel through which greater opportunities began to flow. This story reflects your own journey. The universe constantly extends its helping hands through others, through synchronicities, through moments of grace. When you allow yourself to receive, you complete the circuit of manifestation. Your relaxed acceptance becomes the final key that unlocks the door to abundance. Sacred practice. Find a comfortable position and place one hand on your heart. As you inhale, silently say, "I accept life's gifts." With each exhale, whisper, "Thank you," feeling your muscles soften and melt. Let this gentle breath remind your body that it's safe to receive. Continue for several minutes, allowing each yes to deepen your capacity for receiving the good that seeks to reach you. Chapter 20. The Reset Ritual. In a quiet valley beneath towering mountains, June woke each morning feeling drained despite her nightly rest. Though she practiced visualization and maintained positive thoughts, her body carried yesterday's weight into each new dawn. Her shoulders remained tight, her breath shallow, her mind racing with unfinished tasks. The ancient masters understood that manifestation flows through a vessel made pure by daily cleansing. Just as a mountain stream runs clear by constant movement, your nervous system requires regular purification. This sacred truth lies written in every cell. Restoration is not a luxury, but the foundation of creation itself. When tension accumulates in your body, it creates static in your energetic field. This interference disrupts the clear signal between your intentions and the universe's response. Your physical form speaks a language more ancient than words, the language of vibration. Each knot of anxiety, each band of stored stress becomes a barrier to receiving life's gifts. The solution lies not in forcing change, but in gentle, consistent renewal. 3 breaths taken with full presence hold more power than hours of scattered effort. A moment of genuine gratitude releases more resistance than 1,000 affirmations spoken in haste. True rest, the kind that reaches bone deep, magnetizes more abundance than endless striving. In a bustling city far from June's valley, a merchant named Lionel discovered this wisdom through an evening ritual. Each night, he would light a single candle, watching its flame dance as he released the day's burdens. With each flicker, he allowed his body to soften, his breath to deepen, his mind to quiet. This simple practice transformed his life not through dramatic change, but through faithful repetition. The flame's steady glow reminds us that renewal requires no complex formulas, only devoted attention to the present moment. When you honor your body's need for restoration, you align with the natural cycles of the universe. Like the tide's endless ebb and flow, your energy must retreat before it can surge forward again. The ancient practice. Before sleep tonight, create sacred space for renewal. Sit quietly in darkness or candlelight. Take 3 deep breaths, exhaling fully to release the day's accumulated tension. With each inhale, draw in pure serenity. With each exhale, let your body remember its original state of peace. Feel yourself returning to wholeness, one breath at a time. This is the way of sustainable manifestation, through daily restoration of your most precious instrument, your own being. Part 3. The Radiance of Creation. Chapter 21. The Field That Remembers You. In a bustling marketplace, Agnes walked with her shoulders hunched, eyes downcast, navigating through the crowd as if trying to disappear. Each interaction left her feeling smaller, her worthiness shrinking with every passing glance. Yet in this very moment of contraction, a profound truth awaited her awakening. Your energy field extends far beyond your physical form, creating ripples in the fabric of existence itself. This field, ancient wisdom teaches, retains the memory of your emotional vibration long after the feeling has passed. Like water holding the pattern of dissolved minerals, the universe carries the imprint of your inner state. When Agnes paused beside a flower vendor's stall, something shifted. Rather than rushing past with her usual anxiety, she allowed herself to breathe in the sweet fragrance. As her shoulders softened and her breath deepened, she noticed the vendor's smile growing warmer. A child nearby laughed, and an elderly man nodded kindly in her direction. The very air seemed to lighten around her. This universal law reveals itself in countless ways. Your nervous system broadcasts a constant signal into the field of infinite possibility. When you remain contracted in fear or doubt, this signal echoes back as circumstances that mirror your tension. Yet when you settle into calm acceptance, the field responds with equal harmony. Boyd, a struggling artist, discovered this truth during his darkest hour. Each morning, rather than dwelling on his empty gallery walls, he began expressing gratitude for the sunlight streaming through his window. He thanked the paint on his brush, the canvas awaiting his touch, the very air that carried color to his eyes. Gradually, his studio began to feel different, more alive, more responsive. Within months, opportunities appeared as if summoned by his appreciation. His art found homes in unexpected places, and collectors seemed drawn by an invisible force to his door. The field remembers. Every moment of peace you cultivate leaves an energetic signature that attracts similar frequencies. Every breath of gratitude creates a template for abundance. Your nervous system serves as both antenna and transmitter in this grand dance of creation. Practice. Find a quiet space and settle into your body. Let a gentle smile form on your lips, not forced, but as natural as sunlight breaking through clouds. Feel how this simple gesture changes your inner atmosphere. Now expand your awareness outward, sensing how the environment responds to your shift in state. The walls, the air, the subtle energy around you, all are recording and reflecting your frequency. Stay with this resonance for several minutes, knowing the universe mirrors back the peace you embody. The field never forgets the language of your heart. When you rest in tranquil awareness, you write new patterns into the fabric of reality itself. Chapter 22. The Song of Still Waters. In an ancient mountain village, a weaver sat at her loom, creating patterns of remarkable intricacy. Each day, she would wake before dawn to weave, letting her hands flow with the rising sun. When asked about her secret, she simply smiled and pointed to the still mountain lake beside her home. Within you lies a power so natural, yet so frequently overlooked. As the universal energies swirl through your daily experience, your inner state determines how these forces will arrange themselves in your outer reality. The truth remains. Your nervous system is the tuning fork of creation. Consider Edna, whose office resembled a tempest of deadlines, demands, and digital notifications. Each morning brought fresh waves of urgency, emails flooding her inbox, colleagues interrupting with endless requests, and projects threatening to spiral beyond control. Her initial response, like many, was to match this chaos with internal turbulence. Yet through time and wisdom, Edna discovered that meeting chaos with chaos only multiplied discord. Instead, she began cultivating what the ancients called the unwavering center. Each time pressure mounted, she would pause, breathe deeply, and recall the sensation of absolute stillness. Soon her presence became a stabilizing force. Projects that once seemed scattered began falling into natural order. Colleagues unconsciously matched her measured pace. Even her inbox seemed to organize itself more harmoniously. The universe responds not to what you do, but to what you are being. When your nervous system maintains equilibrium, reality reflects this balance back to you in countless ways. This truth manifested clearly in Percy's tale. Percy, a fisherman, discovered his most profitable insights came not from aggressive searching, but from the serene hours spent on his boat. One particularly still morning, as he sat in perfect calm upon the glassy water, an idea for revolutionizing his small fishing business floated into his awareness as naturally as a leaf landing on water. That single insight, received in stillness, transformed his enterprise more powerfully than years of active striving. This principle operates through an immutable law. Peace attracts coherent outcomes. When your nervous system settles into tranquility, it emits a frequency that organizes chaos into harmony. Like a tuning fork bringing discordant strings into alignment, your inner peace harmonizes outer circumstances. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Imagine a vast lake within your chest, its surface perfectly still. As thoughts or external disturbances arise, watch them like clouds passing overhead, never disturbing your inner lake's serenity. Feel how this lake remains untouched by the world's chaos, eternally reflecting heaven's light. Breathe with this image for several minutes, allowing your nervous system to remember its natural state of perfect calm. When you open your eyes, carry this lake with you, letting its stillness inform every action and reaction. Chapter 23. The Magnetic Breath of Belief. Among the weary souls gathered at the mountain spring, Betsy knelt each morning, her hands trembling as she reached toward the water. For months she had followed the ancient practices of manifestation, yet doubt lingered like morning mist in her bones. "How can simple breathing change my reality?" she would whisper to her reflection. One dawn, as she watched her breath create ripples on the water's surface, something shifted. The air entering her lungs felt different, alive with possibility. Each inhale moved through her ribcage like liquid light. Each exhale carried away another fragment of disbelief. Her body began to remember what her mind had forgotten, that belief is not a thought, but a physical sensation. When you align your nervous system with trust, you activate the most potent force of creation known to existence. Your cells carry the wisdom of eons, waiting only for permission to remember their inherent power. through each breath, you either strengthen or dissolve the physical reality of your beliefs. The ancient ones understood that faith was never meant to be an intellectual exercise, but a bodily experience. Your ribcage is a sacred vessel, designed to hold and transmit the frequency of certainty. When doubt arises, it manifests first as tension in your tissues, constricting the very flow of life force that seeks to support you. In a distant valley, Quentin faced similar struggles until he discovered the breath of trust. Each morning, he would place his hands upon his chest and breathe into his uncertainty until it softened. Day by day, his nervous system began to recognize confidence as its natural state. His shoulders relaxed, his spine lengthened, and opportunities began flowing as freely as mountain streams. The universe responds not to what you think, but to what you embody. When belief lives in your bones, it becomes as natural as gravity, an unquestionable law of your personal reality. Your body is the living prayer, your breath the bridge between doubt and certainty. Sacred practice. Find a quiet moment as dawn breaks. Place your palms against your ribcage and feel its gentle expansion. With each exhale, release doubt as vapor into the morning air. With each inhale, draw in the soft certainty that lives in your cells. Let a slight smile touch your lips, acknowledging the renewed chemistry of your being. This simple practice, repeated with devotion, transforms mental concepts into physical law. Chapter 24. The Calm Currency. In a small seaside town, Fay clutched her bills with trembling fingers each month, her shoulders hunched against invisible weight. Though her account held sufficient funds, her body remained locked in a pattern of ancient fear, muscles coiled tight as a spring, preparing for loss that never came. The universal law reveals a truth oft forgotten. Abundance flows not through numbers alone, but through the subtle channels of your nervous system. When your body believes in lack, it creates energetic dams, blocking the natural circulation of prosperity. Your cells hold their own ledger of abundance or scarcity, and this biological bookkeeping shapes the very fabric of your material reality. Just as blood must flow freely through your veins for health to flourish, wealth must circulate through open channels of trust. Your nervous system is the first banker of abundance. When it relaxes into trust, the universe's infinite resources begin their natural flow through your life. In the quiet hills above the city, Milton discovered this truth through an unexpected path. Each morning, he would leave fresh vegetables from his garden on his neighbors' doorsteps. At first, his hands shook as he gave away what seemed precious and scarce. Yet with each gift, something remarkable occurred. His chest expanded, his breathing deepened, and an inexplicable warmth spread through his body. Within months, Milton's small acts of generosity had reset his nervous system's relationship with abundance. His body learned that giving created expansion rather than loss. As his muscles released their ancient grip on scarcity, unexpected opportunities flowed into his life, a promotion, an inheritance, chance encounters leading to profitable partnerships. This transformation speaks to a profound truth. Your body must first speak the language of abundance before your external reality can echo it. When your nervous system resonates with generosity, you become a living magnet for prosperity in all its forms. The ancient practice. Choose one small act of kindness today, perhaps a flower given freely, a genuine compliment offered without expectation, or a moment of service shared with joy. As you give, place your attention on the sensation in your chest. Notice the natural expansion that follows genuine generosity. This feeling is your body's way of confirming that you are aligned with the infinite flow of universal abundance. Let this physical warmth remind you that true wealth begins as a vibration within, long before it manifests in your external world. Chapter 25. The Golden Temperature. In a quiet valley where mists gathered each dawn, Beverly noticed a curious pattern in her manifestations. On days when sunlight warmed her shoulders, or she cradled a steaming cup of tea, opportunities flowed like honey. Yet when cold crept into her bones, even her brightest intentions seemed to freeze mid-flight. Within your physical form lies an ancient wisdom, one that speaks through the language of temperature. Your nervous system, evolved through countless generations, reads warmth as a signal of safety, of welcome, of life itself. When your body temperature rises slightly through comfort, your entire biochemistry shifts toward receptivity and expansion. The universal law operates through this subtle thermostat of being. Just as a flower opens only in the warmth of day, your energy field expands when bathed in comfortable heat. This is not merely metaphor. It is the science of manifestation itself. Your cells remember the primordial truth. Warmth equals welcome. In the mountains where snow pressed against window panes, Gordon learned to cultivate what the ancients called the inner sun. Each morning, before engaging with the world's demands, he would sit quietly and imagine golden warmth spreading from his heart outward. This practice of emotional temperature control transformed his reality. Deals that once felt cold and distant began to thaw. Relationships warmed like spring arriving after winter. This thermal alchemy works because your nervous system cannot distinguish between actual and imagined warmth when you fully embody the sensation. When you intentionally generate comfort through your physical form, you literally tune your frequency to match the vibration of welcome. The universe responds to this signal by bringing experiences that match your warm receptivity. Your body is not separate from your manifesting power. It is the very instrument through which creation flows. By maintaining an optimal temperature of being, you create the conditions for abundance to flourish naturally. Ancient practice. Find a quiet space and wrap yourself in a soft blanket or bathe in actual sunlight. If neither is available, close your eyes and recall the sensation of warmth embracing your skin. Let this comfort seep into your muscles, your bones, your very cells. Stay with this feeling until you sense your body humming in quiet agreement, in gentle recognition that all is well. This is the temperature at which manifestation blooms. Chapter 26. The Calm Command. In a bustling marketplace, a merchant named Olive stood behind her stall, her heart racing each time she needed to negotiate prices. Though her wares were of the finest quality, her voice would tremble when stating their worth, and customers often pressed her into bargains that left her depleted. The art of wielding authority lies not in volume, but in vibration. When your nervous system settles into its natural rhythm, your voice carries the weight of inner knowing, like the deep resonance of temple bells that command attention without force. True power flows from stillness. Consider how the great forces of nature operate. The ocean doesn't shout to shape shorelines. The sun doesn't strain to warm the earth. The moon doesn't struggle to pull tides. Their influence comes from simply being, fully and completely, in their natural state. Through this understanding, you'll discover that authority emerges from alignment rather than aggression. When your breath flows steady and your muscles release their guard, your words carry the signature of authenticity. This isn't about domination, but about embodying your truth with such clarity that others naturally attune to your frequency. In the quiet streets of an ancient city, Frankie discovered this wisdom while managing his small tea house. Rather than matching the volume of demanding customers, he learned to speak from a place of unshakable calm. His soft, measured words carried more influence than any shout. Soon, even the most agitated visitors found themselves matching his peaceful demeanor. This story mirrors your own potential. When you release the need to prove your power, true authority naturally emerges. Your nervous system, when settled in peace, broadcasts a frequency that others instinctively respect. Like a still lake that perfectly reflects the sky, your composed presence mirrors the natural order of things. Sacred practice. Before engaging in any challenging conversation, place your hand over your heart center. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing each exhale to carry tension from your shoulders and throat. Then, with quiet conviction, speak these words. My peace commands. Feel how this declaration settles in your body, creating a field of calm authority that requires no defense. Chapter 27. The Light Circuit. In a bustling marketplace, a merchant named Olive stood behind her stall, her heart racing each time she needed to negotiate prices. Though her wares were of the finest quality, her voice would tremble when stating their worth, and customers often pressed her into bargains that left her depleted. When you speak from tension, your words scatter like leaves in the wind. Yet within you lies a wellspring of natural authority, not the harsh command of force, but the gentle power of unwavering peace. This sacred truth has guided masters and mystics through the ages. True influence flows from inner stillness. Your nervous system holds the key to this innate power. When you allow your body to settle into its natural rhythm, your voice carries the resonance of inner knowing. Like the deep tone of an ancient bell that commands attention without effort, authentic power emerges from the quiet center of your being. Each time Olive faced a challenging negotiation, she would first pause to feel her feet planted firmly on the earth. Drawing slow breaths into her belly, she allowed tension to dissolve with each exhale. Soon she discovered that speaking from this place of groundedness transformed her entire presence. Customers began responding differently, not to louder words, but to the quiet confidence that now infused her voice. The universe responds not to the volume of your request, but to the coherence of your energy. When fear causes the nervous system to constrict, even the most carefully chosen words lose their power. Yet when you speak from serenity, even whispers can move mountains. Consider how in nature, the most profound forces often work in silence. The moon does not shout to move the tides. The sun does not strain to grow the flowers. Their influence flows from their unwavering presence, their silent certainty in their own nature. A shepherd named Frankie discovered this truth while tending his flock. Where he once yelled and waved his arms to guide his sheep, he learned that calm, assured movements created far more cooperation. His peaceful presence became a compass that the animals naturally followed. This wisdom translates directly to your own manifestation practice. When you speak your intentions or set your boundaries from a place of inner turmoil, you send mixed signals to the field of infinite possibility. But when you allow your nervous system to rest in its natural state of ease, your every word becomes infused with the power of aligned truth. The practice here is elegantly simple, though it may require patience to master. Before any interaction where you wish to express your truth, pause to feel the steady rhythm of your breath. Let your awareness settle into the still point within your chest. From this center of calm certainty, let your words emerge naturally, carried on the current of your authentic power. Feel how your throat relaxes, how your voice finds its true timbre. Notice how others respond not just to your words, but to the unwavering peace beneath them. This is the language the universe understands, the dialect of quiet confidence, spoken from a nervous system at rest. Practice. Place one hand on your heart center. Take 3 slow breaths, feeling your chest rise and fall beneath your palm. Then speak the words, "My peace commands," with gentle authority. Let this phrase emerge not as a shout, but as a quiet knowing. Feel how your entire body aligns with this truth, how your nervous system settles into its natural state of power. Chapter 28. The Inner Ocean. In a quiet valley between ancient mountains, there lived a woman named Verna who spent countless hours trying to perfect her meditation practice. Each morning she would sit in silence, struggling to clear her mind of thoughts, believing that emptiness was the path to enlightenment. Yet the more she attempted to empty herself, the more restless she became. The universe speaks through light, not merely the light that meets your eyes, but the subtle radiance that flows through every cell of your being. This inner luminescence is the original language of creation, the pure energy that transforms thought into matter. When you align with this light, you activate the divine circuit of manifestation. Your body is more than flesh and bone. It is a network of living light, a constellation of energy waiting to be awakened. Each nerve ending is a point of contact with universal intelligence, each cell a receiver and transmitter of creative force. This is not metaphor, but the deepest truth of your existence. You are made of light, and light responds to light. Irving, a painter, discovered this truth in his studio one winter morning. For years he had struggled to capture the essence of his visions on canvas. But one day, rather than forcing his art, he began each session by closing his eyes and sensing the gentle glow within his chest. As he painted from this illuminated state, his work transformed. Colors became more vivid, forms more alive, and viewers spoke of feeling touched by something transcendent in his paintings. He had tapped into the light circuit, the direct current of creative energy that flows when we align with our inner radiance. The light within you is intelligent. It knows where to flow, what to create, how to manifest. Your role is not to direct it, but to become a clear channel for its expression. When your nervous system is calm and receptive, this light moves without resistance, turning your intentions into reality with grace and ease. Picture your spine as a column of golden light. With each breath, this light grows brighter, extending through every nerve pathway, illuminating every cell. This is not imagination, but remembrance. You are recalling your original state of luminous being. Feel how this awareness alone begins to shift your vibration. Attune your frequency to the natural current of creation. Your practice. Sit quietly and imagine gentle luminescence weaving through your nerves like golden wiring of divine invention. Let this light pulse with your heartbeat, spiral with your breath, until you sense yourself as part of the universal circuit of creation. This is your true nature, not a being seeking light, but light itself taking form. Chapter 29. The Serene Spark. In the bustling heart of a seaside town, Tilda paced restlessly in her studio apartment. Like many before her, she equated stillness with stagnation, believing that constant motion was the only path to achievement. Each time she attempted to slow down, an uncomfortable stirring would rise within her, a fear that peace might dull her creative edge. The truth about serenity runs deeper than the surface calm of still waters. Within genuine tranquility lies a potent electrical charge, a pure creative force waiting to be channeled. This sacred voltage accumulates naturally when you allow your nervous system to settle into its optimal rhythm. Just as a battery stores energy for future use, your body stores creative potential in moments of deep peace. You may notice resistance to this truth, for the world has taught you that productivity requires constant activity. Yet nature reveals a different wisdom. Lightning emerges from gathered charge, rivers flow from collected raindrops, and your greatest creations arise from accumulated stillness. Elmer, an aging sculptor, discovered this principle after decades of forcing his art. His hands would shake with caffeine and anxiety as he worked, until one day exhaustion forced him to rest. In that unexpected pause, he felt something extraordinary, a subtle current of energy flowing through his relaxed body. When he returned to his work, his movements were unhurried yet precise. His sculptures began to carry a presence they had never held before. Within a year, his serene creations drew attention from galleries across the country. The power you seek does not come from pushing harder, but from aligning with the electric stillness at your core. When you settle into calm, you aren't becoming passive. You're charging your inner battery. This gathered energy becomes the fuel for focused intention, the voltage that magnetizes your desires into form. The universe responds not to the volume of your activity, but to the coherence of your energy. Like a laser beam compared to scattered light, focused serenity carries immense creative power. Your nervous system, when settled, becomes a precise instrument for manifestation. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space and settle into a comfortable position. Allow your breath to slow naturally until you detect a subtle vibration, an alive stillness in your body. This is your creative current. Once you feel this gentle hum of energy, direct it softly toward one project or desire. Don't force or strain. Simply point your charged attention like a beam of light. Let this serene power flow naturally toward your intention, knowing that calm clarity carries the greatest creative force. Chapter 30. The Grand Reset. In the sacred stillness of a mountain retreat, Ivy sat in meditation, her breath flowing like a gentle stream. For years she had searched outside herself for the keys to manifestation, until at last she discovered the profound truth. Her peaceful body was the ultimate technology for creation. When your nervous system finds its natural harmony, you tap into the universe's primary frequency. Like a perfectly tuned instrument, your body becomes a conduit for divine orchestration. Each cell vibrates in alignment with universal intelligence, creating a symphony of manifestation that flows without effort or strain. The ancient masters knew this secret. Creation begins not with force, but with frequency. As your body settles into its natural rhythm, you activate what mystics have long called the field of infinite possibility. This field responds not to your thoughts alone, but to the electromagnetic signature of your entire being. Archie, a master violin maker, spent decades perfecting his craft through technical precision. Yet his finest instruments emerged only after he learned to work in a state of serene presence. In his workshop, surrounded by aromatic wood shavings, he discovered that his hands moved with greater wisdom when his breath was calm and his heart peaceful. The violins created in this state possessed a mysterious quality that musicians described as alive with soul. His story mirrors a universal truth. When you allow your nervous system to rest in coherent calm, you become an instrument of grace. Your actions flow from a place of inspired knowing rather than anxious doing. This is the state from which miracles arise, not through effort, but through alignment. The Grand Reset is not about learning something new, but remembering something ancient. Your body already knows the language of creation. It speaks in waves of peace, pulses of joy, and rhythms of trust. When you return to this original harmony, the universe recognizes your signal and responds in kind. Sacred practice. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Settle into a comfortable position and close your eyes. Let your breath become soft and natural. Feel the weight of your body supported by the earth. As tension melts away, allow a gentle smile to touch your lips. When you feel ready, whisper these words with quiet certainty. I am reset. Notice how your body responds to this truth. Remain in this space of serene awareness, feeling the world reshape itself around your still center. This is the power of your peaceful presence, the original technology of transformation. If you enjoyed this audiobook, I created a free ebook version for you. You can download it using the link in the pinned comment. Conclusion. When the nervous system learns peace, the universe responds with perfect symmetry. Through these teachings, you have not merely absorbed knowledge, you have attuned your inner instrument to its natural frequency of creation. Each breath that softened your being, each moment of gentle surrender, has expanded your electromagnetic field beyond measure. The Grand Reset flows through you now as an eternal rhythm, a sacred remembrance that true power emerges from stillness. This is not a singular transformation, but a continuous returning to the quiet sanctuary within here. In this space of profound receptivity, manifestation unfolds naturally, for effort was never the language of creation. As your cells vibrate in harmony with universal intelligence, you become a living channel for divine orchestration. The ancient wisdom keepers understood this truth. When the body rests in its original peace, reality reshapes itself accordingly. Your relaxed presence becomes a magnetic force, drawing to you all that aligns with your highest good. Notice how your breath moves like silk through your being, how your heart beats in perfect time with the cosmic pulse. This subtle awareness is your greatest gift, the ability to sense when you've drifted from center and gently guide yourself back to balance. The universe speaks through the wisdom of your regulated nervous system. Each time you choose to soften rather than strain, to trust rather than force, you strengthen this divine connection. Your calmness creates ripples through the fabric of existence itself. Let your body rest deeply in this knowing. Let your heart trust in the perfect unfolding. Let your natural state of peace lead the way. This is the vibration that births miracles, not through doing, but through being.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.